Hi everyone, I'm Garratt. I've just got back from work. It's stupidly late at night. I'm drinking wine from the wrong type of glass and I'm going to make a chicken curry. What's this bit of red here? You've been scratching me. Yes folks, as you can tell by the title, I'm doing a chicken tikka masala. Now I do realise that this is like the second Indian video I've done in a row. Did the Bombay potatoes last time, but this recipe is so good I wanted to get it out there straight away. Now chicken tikka masala is probably Britain's most favourite curry. I don't really want to get too far into the politics of it and where it came from, because that's just going to open up a whole can of worms and I just can't be doing with it. Now there's lots of stories as to where this dish originated, but one of the most popular opinions is that it was actually invented in Britain. And some stories even suggest that the original recipe contained tomato soup. Okay, I don't buy it, alright? Say what you want, but I don't buy it. My own personal opinion, I think this recipe derived from a dish called murgh makhani, or butter chicken, because they use a lot of the same spices, it's prepared in a very similar way. So yeah, I think it came from that. I could be wrong, and I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. But anyway, let's crack on with the recipe. I will put all the ingredients in the description below, and the first thing we need to do is marinate the chicken. Is it marinade or marinate? Marination? Right, so we've got our chicken here, I've got my marinating spices, I've got my garlic and ginger, and then in this bowl here, I've got about 4 dessert spoons of plain yoghurt, which is going to act as a catalyst to kind of marinate the chicken. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the spices, garlic and ginger into the yoghurt. I'm going to add a generous pinch of salt and then give that a good old mix. Make sure everything is evenly dispersed into that yoghurt. And once you've mixed everything through, it should resemble the inside of a toddler's nappy. And the next step is to prepare the chicken. So all we're going to do is just kind of cut off that mini fillet. And sometimes you get these sort of bits of tendon and cartilage just on the edge. I'm going to nip those off because they're not going to be very pleasant at all. And then I'm just going to cut it down the middle into 3 large strips and just cut them into nice sort of bite-sized chunks. You are going to get some smaller pieces because obviously that's the nature of things. Okay, and once you've diced up all your chicken, we're going to get that into the marinade. Just whack it right in. And then what we need to do is to mix it all together. There's no real easy way to do this. You just need to get your hands in there and coat all of that chicken. So once you've coated the chicken in that wonderful marinade, you need to let it sit, alright? The longer you leave it, the better. Leave it overnight, it's going to be much more flavourful, but it needs at least 1.5 hours to 2 hours just to allow those flavours to really permeate the chicken. But again, it's best left overnight. So I'm going to wrap these in cling film, stick them in the fridge for a few hours, so I'll see you on the other side. Right, okay, so my chicken has been marinating now for over 3 hours, and all I've done is just took it out of the fridge and I just placed it on a baking sheet in one even layer, and I've also preheated the oven to about gas mark 6 or 7, nice and hot, because what we need is some nice colour on this chicken, some nice charred bits, because that's going to really add lots of flavour. So I'm just going to get this in the oven. And I'll cook that chicken for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. You've got those nice sort of charred edges which are going to give you lots of flavour. And whilst that's in the oven cooking, we can get on and start making the sauce. Right, so I've got a nice deep-sided pan here. I'm going to get this onto a sort of medium heat. And I'm just going to add a couple of dessert spoons of ghee. Again, you don't have to use this, you can use just normal oil. But ghee is really good, it keeps in the fridge for ages, so it's really worth the investment. And once the ghee is melted and it's nice and hot, we're going to add the onions. And on a nice medium heat, we need to fry these onions until they're nice and golden brown. It's going to take about 10 minutes or so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so once the onions are at this stage, they're nice and golden brown, you can go in with your whole spices. So I've got the curry leaves, I've got the cinnamon stick, the cardamom pods, and I've also got the cloves as well, so they can go in. I'm also going to add the chilli, the garlic and the ginger, and I need to cook those spices out until they start to smell aromatic, but just be careful you don't burn them, because once you do that, that's the end. Alright, once you burn the spices, it's just going to taste horrible. So again, just keep it on a sort of low to medium heat, cook those spices out until they start to smell really aromatic, but just keep your eye on it so it doesn't burn. And also it's a good time to check on the chicken, make sure that it's not burning, turn it over if you need to. Right, okay, so after a few minutes, once you've cooked out your whole spices, You can go in with the other spices, except for the garam masala. We're going to add that in towards the end. So just go in with the chili powder, the mustard seeds, turmeric, coriander, etc, etc, and just mix that through. And I know it kind of looks like a mess now, but trust me, this will come together, and it's smelling amazing. And as with the whole spices, you want to cook these spices out until they start to smell really aromatic, and again, make sure they don't burn. And this is going to take about another couple of minutes. Okay, and after a couple of minutes, we're going to add the tomato puree. And as with the spices, you need to cook this out. If you don't, it's going to taste bitter. So you need to cook the tomato paste out for about 1 to 2 minutes to release all of its flavour and get rid of that harshness. Okay, so once you've cooked out the tomato puree, we can go in with the fresh tomatoes. And I'm going to add just a touch of water. Not too much, and then what I'm going to do is just pop a lid on, and I'm going to cook that out for about 5 to 10 minutes till those tomatoes are nice and broken down, and then we'll move on to the next step. Right, so it's been about 10 minutes. Let's take the lid off of the pan, and you can see how jammy those tomatoes and all those spices have gone. That's what you're looking for. And what I've done as well is I've taken the chicken out of the oven. You can see it's got all those nice sort of golden sort of burnt bits on it. That's what you want. So we're going to add the chicken. We're also going to add the garam masala as well, and I'm also going to add the crushed tomatoes as well. Okay, and then just mix that all through. There we go. And then we're going to pop the lid back on, and we need to cook that down again for another 20 to 30 minutes, and you'll know it's ready because you'll start to see fat sort of bubble to the surface. That sauce will be nice and reduced, and once it's at that stage, we can add the cream and the coriander. Right, okay, so it's been about 20 minutes now, so let's take the lid off. I've also got some rice cooking here as well. Now hopefully you can see that some of the oil has just kind of risen to the surface here. You've got like little pools of red oil here. That's a good sign. That means that it's on its way. So now it's time to add the cream. I'm going to go in with about 150 ml here. Now you don't have to add as much cream as this. I like it quite creamy. Right, so I've added the coriander, it's done. We're going to serve this up. I'm going to get some rice onto my plate. Okay, I'm not going to do anything fancy because this is my tea. All right. I say tea, it's like ridiculously late. It's like gone midnight, but I suppose it's like a really early breakfast, I guess. Shut up, Adam. I'm going to get some of that wonderful chicken tikka masala on the top. Just like so. Now I hope you'll agree that looks delicious, but it doesn't really matter what it looks like, it's how it tastes. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe. It's too late and I'm tired, gone slightly mad. Right, let's give this a taste. Chicken tikka masala. Smells amazing. Let's dive in. Okay, I'm not too bothered about the rice. No one cares about rice. Let's go in. That's delicious. Is it authentic? Probably not. But it's damn delicious. It is quite spicy because I put quite a bit of chilli in there. But if you don't want it so hot, you know, just put less chilli in. But it's just so fragrant. And also by letting that chicken marinade in that yogurt and those spices, it really, really makes a difference. You could just chuck chicken straight in the sauce. Okay, but it's not going to be half as good. Nowhere near. Well, it tasted flipping delicious and actually pretty simple. Once you've got all the spices, again, you've done all your prep, really it's quite easy to make. And I guarantee it will taste as good as, if not better, than any takeaway. But listen guys, I'm absolutely knackered. I'm wiped out, right? It's really, really late, right? I need to go to bed. Well, I need to finish this first, but once I've done that, I'm going to bed. But I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you did, then please stick a like down below. Share it across your social media platforms. And as always, if you stick around at the end, there'll be some links to some other videos. And if you'd like to subscribe, there'll be a button for that as well. And I'll see your lovely faces next time for more tasty fun and frolics. And bye for now. Oh well, I need to go to bed. Good night, folks.